This video should terrify you. She's part of an experiment, but she doesn't know it. You see, these people are in on it. So every single time they hear a beeping noise, they stand up. It only takes until about the third time before she folds and stands for no reason. Now here's where it gets really crazy. One by one, each one of the people leave the room. And now she's all by herself. And the same beeping noise goes off, and look, she stands. Now they bring somebody new in that was not a participant. Remember, she wasn't a participant. She stands up. At first he ignores her. He asks why. She says everybody was doing it, so she thought she was supposed to. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but look what he does. He stands. More new people come in, and they all start to stand as well. And remember, all of this started from some fake ass rule that made no sense. And this experiment is exactly why you should think for yourself. This is how bullshit spreads. One person does it, and then everybody else follows without asking any questions. Then it becomes the new normal. This is messed up because this is exactly how families pass down bad habits and how entire cultures can be built on lies. Critical thinking is so important because once you stop thinking, you're no longer living your life. You're just another sheep in the herd.
Good afternoon, people. We always like to start with a little message, you know what I mean? So big up to you people, man. Under the Lens is back. Big up all of the people in the comments. 13 of you in here nice and early. And we have a new guest today, man, making his debut on the show. Jason Gooner TV. How you doing, my friend?
Big up to you, Viewz. Big up to the community as well. Yeah, in the building. Respect for the opportunity. I like the content, of course, or else I wouldn't be here. Love that you stand on business when you give your points. That's something that I really respect. So yeah, we're gonna have the conversation. And again, thanks for the opportunity. Big up to the community.
Yeah, man. Big up to all you legends in here nice and early. 18 of you in here now. Smash the like. I'm already seeing the internet sign, so I hope it's not too much Wreck-It Ralph for you. But we are across both platforms, man. Jason Gooner TV, his name is in the title. His link is here. It's pinned. Make sure you guys, you know how we do for our guests. Go and show them the Viewz hospitality. Go and make sure you go and subscribe. Show him all the love in the world. Like I said, we are across both platforms. So if you want to go over there and give the video a like, please do so as well. We're going to have a quick little roll call. Won't take too long. Big up to Quaja. Bigging up Viewz and Jason. Two legends on the panel. Big up to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Big up to you, Quaja. There's the link for the second channel, guys. We're nearly at 100. Let's get there today. That would be nice, man. Keep subscribing. Big up to you, Quaja. Big up to Gunner for life. Afternoon Views in the community. Big up to you, my G. Good to have you back in this afternoon. Thank you for being there. Big up to Quaja as well. We got Jamboy in the house. Legend. Big up to you, my G. Hope you're good. Big up BBK in the house. Big up to Tyra, man. Come on. He's the one that made this happen. So big up to him. Make sure you're subbing to him. And you know how we do it over here, mods. Links in the chat for everyone who's got channels. Nothing but love. DG2's in the building. Big up to you, my G. Mr. Paz is in here as well. Wahaha's in here as well. You know what I mean? Big up to BBK Sports as always, man. So look, Jason, I usually like to ask my guests like their first kind of exposure to the team. You know, what kind of got you into supporting the team, my guy?
All right. Well, you know, when you start, well, for me personally, when I started watching football, I was drawn to players, right? So I was an attacking player as a kid. And so for whatever reason, the two players that first caught my eye when I was watching football, I'm going to date myself a little bit here. But it was Bebeto from Brazil. Wow. And Dennis Bergkamp from the Netherlands. So the whole Netherlands link came from my father, who is a big Netherlands supporter, Ruud Gullit, Rijkaard, that whole generation. Before that, even Cruyff, Neeskens, those guys. So I kind of gravitated towards Netherlands, and I just thought Dennis Bergkamp was my guy. So the minute that Dennis Bergkamp left Inter Milan and went to Arsenal, pretty much that's kind of what sealed it for me as an Arsenal fan.
Right.
When I started to watch Bergkamp more closely, when he went to the EPL, watching Arsenal play, you know, learning about the history of the club, Highbury, everything just made sense for me. And then, of course, when you add in the righty context, you hear how I speak, right? When you learn about Wright and what he was about in terms of his heritage, you know, that was sealed it. So yeah, that was pretty much my introduction. Bergkamp, and then learning about Wright, Highbury, and then this was history after that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So give me like because obviously, I mean, if you're talking about yourself dating, I mean, it's kind of like the same sort of time that I was getting into the team, the back end of George Graham, early Wenger days. Give me like a early memory, early good memory for you, and a bad one as well.
All right, so an early good memory, I would have to say, pretty much the first title that Wenger won. That was probably the first like really big memory that I can remember that season, like Overmars and Nelka, Wright, Bergkamp, just that whole year. I mean, I don't know if there's a moment I can single out from that year, but I just know that that was when it kind of like, all right, I'm a gunner. Like I love this team. You know what I mean? First bad memory. Honestly, the first bad memory is probably losing the title. I think we came second. It was the year after we won, and we lost the title to United. And I remember that feeling the first time, like, you know, expecting something and not getting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, yeah, that those two things. The first title, I think it was 97, 98, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then I want to say it was the next year when we finished second. That kind of was the first time I was like really disappointed as an Arsenal fan. And that just goes to show like the standard that certain Arsenal fans have is because of when you started watching the club. So like for me, that's my start, you know, like losing a title and being like, this is the worst thing in the world, you know?
Right.
And so it's sometimes when I hear the talk about Arsenal, you have to kind of realize where people would have started watching the team from. You know what I mean? So that's why I think me personally, I'm probably harder on Arsenal than some people would think, because that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from being gutted to lose a title, not to finish 5th or 6th or whatever. To lose the title, I'm like, this is the end of the world. So yeah, that's where I'm forward.
Yeah, and I say that on loads of shows. It's not my fault I was born in '84. It's not my fault I've seen my club do doubles and the genius of Wenger, and you know, we've seen the Iceman, we've seen Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, you know, all these players as well that were quite tall, you know, 6 foot plus with skills. So it does prove that it was possible. But just like you said, I think that's the big take is when you got into the team. You know what I mean? If all you're seeing is what we've been dishing up lately, then you might feel differently. So now I'm with you, man. I think it was the 99 year. I think United even went on to do a treble, and we might have come, and we was vexed that you finishing second.
You know, actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I remember the time actually when I was disappointed. It was a week when starting the week we were leading the league. We got knocked out the Champions League, knocked out the cup, and Man United overtook us in the league in like 1 week. That was the first time I was like, yo, my head is gone, bro. Like, this is mad.
Madness.
This happened so fast. Everything just gone. Everything looked good. Because we were in line to win a treble that year as well. Like, literally. And, you know, you never know how history could be if that didn't go that way. But, yeah. Lost the league.
Big up BBK, man. Done, no. Yeah, man. Now, wicked, man. Thank you for that, man. Obviously, for me, I think the worst memory I ever had, obviously, there was bitter ones in there, but has to be the Champions League final, you know what I mean? Because we played so well in it. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, even with a man down. But no, man, big up, man. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Like I said, let me just big up BBK again in the chat. Tyson, all the new people coming in. We got a couple people over from your side. Big up Mario Logan. Thank you for joining us. We had Duclon, if I've said that right. Said why they caught the eye. Big up to him. Big up Odell Lowe as well. I love seeing smile on Gunners' faces early in the season, man. Well, the results are giving it to us. Let's hope the performances back up that currency. Do you know what I mean? Big up to Spirit High. Thank you for passing through. Please make sure you're subscribing to my guests. This live is going across both of our channels, so subscribe, like on both sides. Vieira, Gilberto, Carnu, yeah, man. The good old days. Big up Odell again. Big up all Chelsea fans. Look at this. Big up Warren.
So my community, you know, Viewz expressing, you know, one thing I like about the community Viewz has BBK Sports, some of the people that I've come across lately, they really show love to the community. So the guys in my chat that are over here, please go over to Viewz on Sport, bro. Subscribe. He's not all about the Gunners like myself. We talk about all things, and every fan is welcome.
Yes,
unless we're kind of airing out the in-house things, then we can still have conversations, isn't it?
Right. Right. No, big up, man. And I appreciate that, bro. And that's it, man. We just try and build community. We got Liverpool, Spurs. I got Spurs people that come over. We're good. You know what I mean? As long as we're real and we big up the community and we show love, nothing but love, man. Big up to Warren as well. Says, as a Spurs fan, you have to admire the way Arsenal play in their glory days. Henry was a talent. And that's what I want to say, man. You know, like when I was in school and that, and but listen, the chess was massive. It was Mr. T chess. When we play and people say, "Wow, they're not even playing Arsenal. We got Henry this week." Do you know what I'm saying? That's how bad it was, man. So we had some good times. So I just kind of want to reiterate on what you said, because it's the time that you started supporting the club. We was very fortunate to have those. You know, things are a little bit different now. I am going to move on a little bit. Big up to Wahaha. Big up to RR coming over from Jason's community as well. We got Mario Logan and One City Forever. Big up to all you guys, man. 14 likes. Keep spreading the love on both channels, man. Big up, man. Big up. Just subscribe. Big up to you, my G. My guys, make sure you're subscribing over to Jason. So that's how you got into the team, my bro. We had some good and bad memories. In your interpretation, Jason Gooner TV, like, where's our club now? What are the goals for you?
Look, I think right now we're at the point where kind of like how I felt in 97, 98, 99, those times where if we don't win, I feel like it was a disappointment. You know, I feel like it was a big disappointment. Right now, we have the squad, right? We have all the things in place. I think financially, you're seeing we're keeping players. You know, one of the things that I thought started the demise for Arsenal back in Wenger's day was just the inability to keep players. If a player got very good and the bigger clubs came calling, they leave. And, you know, we heard the Saliba talks, we heard the Saka talks, we heard all these players talks, but they're signing for us again and they're staying. So to me, that signifies the players themselves know that it's time, you know, or else they would be jumping ship and leaving. So look, at this point, we're at a crossroads, Viewz. If we don't lift silverware this year, we have to look squarely at the manager. There's nowhere else you can look, because the players are there. You know, we have right now, Arsenal has an injury crisis, if you're being honest. And the performances are not consistent enough for me yet. But the fact that we are getting results in games that I know for a fact under this manager in the past we wouldn't have gotten, then I think right now the time is the time. And if we don't get it done this year, then it's time to move on from the manager.
No, listen, I totally agree. And listen, and I'm going to be deadly honest. I mean, people that tune into me all the time, they're going to know my views. There were certain things about the transfer window I wasn't happy about, Jason. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate the late work that Berta done as well to get Eze in, to get other players out. So obviously I tipped my thing from a 4 to a 5 to a 6. That ended with a 6. But even with that, that's me being critical. That, you know, that might just be my opinion only. But even with that, you know, we all agree that this squad right now, regardless, you know what I mean, Denzel, we should be leaving with something. Do you know what I mean? So 100%, like, it don't matter what side of the fence you're on, we can all agree that this team is good enough. And I think it's only on him. It's only on him. And that brings me to the next question. You know, do you believe in the manager? You know what I mean? You know, you know what it's like in our fan base, the ins, the outs, to shake it all out. You know, do you believe that he's the guy to get us across the line, my bro?
I think Arteta should, well, maybe not. He doesn't owe me anything. But in his first part of his tenure, when we were finishing 8th, 5th, I was so, because it had been so long since we really truly challenged for the title, I could see enough about how tactically he was trying to do things that I kind of I could give him time. I was hearing the talk, you know, he doesn't have the experience, he's a cone boy, all of this. I heard that, you know. And I would be the one defending in most circles. Whenever I talk to people about Arsenal, I would be defending. And I think the season, not the season when we were pretty much the most offensive team in the league, I thought, when we had the big lead and they caught us.
22, 23.
Right? But the next year is when I started to kind of look at him a little sideways, because there were things he was doing that I thought he himself was costing us. And it was the first time when I could really look at things and say, you know, Arteta cost us this game by the things that he did. And that was becoming a bit too frequent for me. So I had started to come around to the side of, all right, now or never for this guy, you know? Because I was always like, so many people around the world can't be wrong. Viewz, if we're being honest, you don't want to listen to everything you hear. But if coaches around the world, players that play for him are all saying, you know, tactically, this guy is different level, man. Like he sees things we don't think about, and these and that. We can't disregard so many people that know the game saying that about Arteta. But at the same time, in the moment is when it really matters as a manager. Many times in moments, regardless of his football knowledge or whatever the case is, all of that goes out the window because you have to make that decision in the moment. And too many times in the moment, he was doing the wrong thing. So I have come around to say, look, I can see an Arsenal without Arteta as the manager. There has to be another alternative, right? But I know that the board likes him. It's very obvious of that. So if I'm being a realistic person, I'm not going to sit here and scream Arteta out every day knowing he's here. What I will do is scrutinize him heavily every day. And hopefully, you know, I know he's not listening to this as gospel for him or anything, but it's crazy how things work. If you put something out there enough and people start to talk about it enough, it will get back to him, bro. It will get back to him somehow. You know what I'm saying? And you can always tell, even the whole midfield thing that we just talked about. When he snapped at the reporter about the midfield. Bro, the next game, the midfield changed. It wasn't the same.
Rice. Sorry, just to jump in, Declan Rice. Remember when he over-celebrated when he scored? I think it was against United, right? And then the week after, they see it.
The one's going to remind Marino, hey, let's go score. Let's go get another goal. So,
yeah, man. Bang on point, man. Bang on point. So, I mean, listen, and I was with you for a bit, but when he came in, I'm like, what? I didn't want to get him in the first place, but he came in. I liked how he was talking. You know, I liked the things that he was doing, you know, and I was backing him. You know, I did back it. At first, I was like, this guy's an amateur, you know, and the first 2.5 seasons, you know, 8th finish, 8th again after a full season, then miss out to Spurs. You know, at that point, I was like, I don't know why he's still here. But then you got me back in 22-23 because he took everyone by storm then. Do you know what I'm saying? No one was ready for that. And I was with him, even up until the point, the end of the 23-24 season when it was out of our hands, but if results went our way, we could have won the league that year, right? And he was.
So we did finish the end of that season strong. Like after that, I think it was the West Ham defeat Christmas,
something like that. Around that, we had a good January.
Yeah, all through till the Aston Villa game. That was it.
Yeah. So my mind's a little bit hazy, but the point I was trying to make is when he was on the pitch there, Jason, saying second ain't good enough. Feel the pain. You get me? We want to do more. Like I was riding for it, big Y, but I was riding for a minute, lightning. But you understand what I'm trying to say, yeah? I was with him. I'm saying, you know what? Like I'm looking at the Premier League title at the Emirates. I'm like, raw. It weren't in our hands. Results never went our way, but we were this close. They put the trophy at our stadium. So I'm like, you know what? I'm with you. Then we go out in the summer and we get Calafiori. So yeah, Calafiori, Moreno, Sterling, and Neto. And I'm like, my God, bro. My God. And that's when I started coming over to the point which you just said and which you said earlier as well. It's on him now. Like you're looking at him like, why are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Because you know that he's got say with the transfers and things like that. But anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. Let's move it on. Let's talk about before obviously I ask you about more recent events. Yeah, let's talk about the Champions League quickly, right? Because last season we had semi-finals. Season before that we had quarters. So in the logic of progression, only the finals should be good enough, right? But I don't believe we're gonna get there. But you know, what's your thoughts on the Champions League, man? What do you think our realistic hopes are, bro?
Look, the Champions League, the way it is now, and we saw the evidence last year. I mean, ideally, you want to finish in the top 8, right? You don't want those 2 extra games because, you know, the world of football right now, if they could put a game right now, they would play it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to avoid playing more games. So the top 8 is to me crucial, right? We got that last year. We saw the team that won the league phase, Liverpool, it didn't matter. You know, they drew PSG. So it has a lot to do with the draws you get and all these things. Again, just like I feel in the Premier League, we have the squad to get to the final of the Champions League. There's no question about it. It's just a matter of in those moments, like I said, with this squad we have, are we going to make the right decisions to get us where we need to get? I don't think Arteta's track record has shown it's definitely going to happen. Especially even if we get to the final, what does that look like? We've never seen him in a final in the Champions League before. And typically for Arteta, he kind of needs to stub his toe first to win something, or to get it right. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, you know, look, if we make it to the final, I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest, because like I said, we have the squad. Look up and down the squad, bro. We have a good team. We actually have a good team. So, you know, if we get there, I wouldn't be so shocked. I just worry about on that day, you know, because we're going to face a big team, obviously, more than likely, and they probably have a manager who's maybe done played in a game that big before.
Yeah.
So that advantage kind of wouldn't be there for us.
That's a great point, man. That is a great point, because we ain't even asked that question because we don't get to the final. Do you know what I mean? But what does Arteta look like in the final? We turned up to Anfield, and I'm calling them the fridges and the bricks, because obviously when we turn up with that midfield, it's not very creative. Like, that's what we're doing in the league. So God knows what it'd be like in the final. I mean, look, like you just said, I agree. You know, the squad we've got is there. You know, whether I agreed with all of the signings or not, he needs to leave with something today. Let me ask you then quickly before I move on. Do you think Arteta's under pressure this year? Like, do you feel like, because apparently there's been talk about this, you know, this meeting apparently with Josh, and like, do you think he's actually under the pressure? Do you think anyone's told him that we need to pick up something now, or, you know what I mean? Do you think he's under any pressure? What would you think? I'll ask you that first, and then I'll segue with, if you do think he's under pressure or you don't, what chain of events would kind of put him in that bracket?
Look, if the pressure might not be like from the club itself, right? Even if they had a meeting or whatever, they could just be discussing objectives and, you know, whatever. I don't know if the club itself would just get rid of him if we don't win the league or win a trophy, a major one.
Right.
Especially that I've seen us finish second 3 times and they didn't do anything. So I don't see them doing that. If we have a good season with challenge, blah, 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 I don't think we get rid of him. But what I will say is this: the pressure from just the football in public and the pressure from him just as a manager at this point, I feel like he knows in himself that he has to win this season. Like, he has to win, because you can't really rest on, you've done such a great job building the team, that you can only do that for so long, right? And he's a player that played for Arsenal. He's not so revered by fans, you know what I mean? If Arteta never became the manager of Arsenal ever, we wouldn't remember him as like a captain of Arsenal, because that time is not a time that I know for sure, we don't look at that time as something to be remembering. So we're not going to remember that. So I know he knows his legacy at Arsenal really is going to be about this stint as the manager. Because nobody's going to look back at the free kick you scored against City in a meaningless game, really. You know,
we don't remember that. Yeah.
Because we didn't do anything that season, you know what I'm saying? So no one remembers that. But if you lift a trophy as the manager, after 22 years of not lifting the major one, the PL, you know, if you get us the Champions League first in our history, then you're cemented, bro. You're cemented. And all the people like myself, you who are seriously, heavily scrutinizing him, we just gonna have to love that up.
Yeah, because I try and make it clear every day I do a stream. I don't hate the man more than I want Arsenal to win. It's always Arsenal first. If he's the guy to get us to the Champions League final, then you get to stay. We're back to factory reset. I wouldn't say another 5 years credit, but you get another year and a half. Let's see if you can continue winning. You know, this season then, obviously, because like you just said, you know, we do kind of heavily scrutinize him. What would be the bare minimum for you then? Because for me, it's a cup double or one of the majors. What would be the bare minimum? Because I've heard some people say, just win me the Carabao Cup. I've heard people say even a cup double ain't enough. So everyone's different. For you, my guy, what's...
Look, I think honestly, a trophy is a trophy is a trophy. I get that, right? But at this stage of the team's, you know, I hate to say this word, process, we need to win one of the major ones. So we need to win the Premier League or we need to win the Champions League. I think for me, that is pretty much what I want. Now, if we can get a cup in the mix, great. If we win the Carabao Cup only, sackable offense. I'm serious, sackable offense.
Yeah, no,
Let another manager come in just like how he came in and won a trophy off the back of what we had built at that time. Let another manager come in before we deplete the team that he's built and see what they can do with it. You see what I'm saying?
Great point. Absolutely great point. That's why I was so over the moon when we got Gyökeres and Eze. Not because, you know, I think Arteta's going to cook with them. It's purely because I think he's going to fumble them. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, even with the Cronkies right now, I don't believe they're the best owners. Obviously, they have the, you know, majority. You know, they own everything. You know what I mean? So if you own the business and you're going to let one of your employees run riot, that's on you. But at the same time, they've freed up the cash. It might not be their cash, but they freed it up. They've allowed them to, like, I don't think there's been another Arsenal manager that's had the type of backing that he's had. So I don't look at them specifically, not straight away. Now I'm looking at, as you said, the game management, the rotation of players, your team selection, the things that you do in the game when you're under the cosh. So yeah, man, great points you said there. Big up all of you legends in here though. We got 43 in here right now. Make sure you smash the like. Make sure you subscribe to my guest. Like on both streams, please. Yeah, the name is pinned and the name is in the title. Big up Damian Levy says, as a United fan holding my head, I still enjoyed watching man like Bergkamp and Vieira pet ballers. Exactly, because when you've got quality that good, like all you can do is admire it. It's like when Liverpool were having, we know they're looking a bit shaky now in terms of how they're playing, but when they're having that type of transfer window, no one's questioning the people they're going after. You just have to rate it. You know what I mean? So big up to you, Damien, man. Big up for being over here. RR says Teta seems to be a slow learn, but seems he is passing that curve. Hopefully. Big up to Gavin Earl in the building as well, man. Absolute legend. Please, all of my guys, make sure you get over to Jason and give him a sub. Red Skull saying thoughts on the Antonio Nusa kid for our left wing. He is a gem. Get your questions in, because as soon as I finish with mine, we're going to have a little period where we interact with the chat. So keep it coming, you guys. We will get there in due time. So now we're going to do our little Harry Potter moment, man. Jason Gooner, you got a magic wand. 3 things that you'd change at the club. Could be anything. 3 things, bro.
3 things I would change at the club. All right. First thing, I would go and get a left winger, the status of our right winger and our CM cam striker. I would just go get that left winger that's, if he's fit, he's playing. Because right now it's like a by committee thing, and we just spoke about what we worry about with Arteta, right? And that's game management and squad rotation and all these things. So we are trusting that he is going to be the one to play the hot hand at the right time, and I don't really trust that. So let's just get a baller for that side, like we were planning on doing all summer. The Rodrigo, don't know how come Leao is still at Milan. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of left wingers, bro. There's not. Is not this whole myth about there's not many left wingers is a lie. So we could have got that done. So that's one thing I would have definitely got done. The second thing, honestly, the second thing is, I kind of wish in a way that the Crankies weren't the owners, right? I want to see an Arsenal with one of these, I hate to typecast, but one of these like Arab money.
Yeah.
I want to see Arsenal under them regime. Just because I've seen all the other teams that are winning a lot of things being able to do it.
Right.
You know? Besides Liverpool, all the other ones, City,
right.
You know, Chelsea was an Arab, but you know what that was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we haven't had that. You know, we haven't had that. I know the Crankies are filthy, but I don't believe it's the same type of thing as, you know, they're Americans, you know.
Yeah.
I'm an American by birth, so I get it. It's like the 5th most supported sport here. So like, well, maybe not supported, but these mans like Crankies, them care about them baseball, them football, them, you know, that football, basketball, that's what they care about, right? Yeah. So they're not as invested as some of these guys would be. Like the PSG owner, this man, you can tell this guy, he's serious about the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Same thing with the City guys. Same thing with, you know, all of them that have this man, you know what I mean? So that would be the second thing. Like, I want to see an Arsenal with one of them owners, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
And probably the third thing I would say, a part of me, I think that the generation that I grew up on, right? The Henrys, the Bergkamps, all these guys, I would love to see them more a part of what's going on now. I don't know what kind of way that would be. Maybe it's that Arteta kind of knows if he brings one of those guys in, his goose is done.
He's
Because
done.
the minute he do anything wrong, they're like, yo, put that man as the head coach, bro. So, maybe that's why it don't happen more frequently. But
yeah,
I feel like that the more we can connect with that time and those people, the better. So those are
that's
the
good.
three things. Like
I like
that we just know it's going to start a billionaire owner with no football, right? And like hear about the football. And then the third thing would be, like I said, somehow incorporating the invincible era guys in the mix. Some of these guys are top coaches. Some of these guys are, top ambassadors, and some of them are sporting directors. And look, no hate on Berta though. That's my guy. I can live with what he's probably gonna bring to the table. But I'm just saying, in some capacity, some of those guys.
No, I agree, man. Just for the personality, the winners like Tony Adams, like Thierry Henry, you know what I mean? Because it's aura. They still have that aura now. Legends. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. The next one's I'll just kind of segue quickly to it, because we kind of alluded to the fact that he's kind of got everything. Do you think there's any pieces that Arteta's missing? I mean, you said left wing, so that's what I mean. We kind of alluded to that. Do you think there's anything? Do you think he's got all the pieces now to go on and to win the league? Maybe he could do a double or something like that.
Look, for me, I think I'm about balance, right? And so in certain positions, I feel like players might be a little too similar in a way. So just like taking a little more care with like how we fill out the squad. So like, for example, to me, Hincapie is a talented player, right? But to me, he's too much like Calafiori. Like they want to do the same exact things. You see what I'm saying? So just like taking a little more care with things like that. Maybe in the coach's mind, he's worried about Calafiori long term with the injuries. So he said, look, let me get another, because he really clearly likes how Calafiori plays. If Calafiori is fit, he's going to play. Yeah. Pretty much, Miles had a lot of the run last year, but if you remember, most of that was Calafiori being out.
Yeah.
You see, so now that he's back, we're seeing Miles is the one that's kind of taking the back seat. And for me, Miles, long term, he's going to play midfield. So I think maybe that's why he got Hincapie. But for me, I would get like a less similar player, because Hincapie and Calafiori are CB/LCBs that are slash left backs that both can play attacking when they play left back, right? And they kind of, Hincapie, I think I'm kind of sad actually that he got injured, because I think when everything's said and done, he's probably going to be the person that, me personally, I think he's going to be our left back.
Right.
He's going to be our left back. I think when people see him really play, he's going to be that blend of attacking, defending that you want to see from your fullback. He does it probably better than anybody we have.
No, that's wicked, man. And I want someone to come and grab it and make that spot their own. If it's him, then so be it. I've liked a little bit of Calafiori going forward, but defensively, he's still left one in for me. You know what I mean? And I call him Mr. Glass, because obviously he has to stay fit. So
yeah, fingers crossed, the longest run I can remember of him not having a needle or he always has something going on.
Yeah, bruv. Yeah. So you're right. That's why I was so sad that Kieran Tierney got let go, but they did obviously try and bring in another body. All right, man. Let's talk about obviously the recent events. So obviously, we just won in the Champions League. Let's talk about that quickly. Olympiacos last night, because obviously on my show earlier on, there were some people that thought we looked really comfortable. I didn't. I was quite worried, watching that game. How did you feel about the game, man? Just give us your kind of recap on the game, bro.
Well, actually, I did a random watch along. So I was watching the game with some of my community yesterday, and I remember in the first half feeling good, just saying, I like what I'm seeing. Some of the ways we attacked. I remember there was a specific play. I want to say it might have been the goal we scored when Gyökeres took off the shot. It was two players. The defense had the ball. They broke the line to Odegaard. Odegaard then broke the line. It was two successive line breaking passes, and they were both vertical, direct. And I was like, that's something different. We haven't seen that. That's like 22, 23 stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So there were things that made me really positive. But I did notice that as soon as we scored the goal, and even before we scored the goal, our defense and just the way we were at times, it seemed like we're just gonna win. You know, and even when those two chances fell to them, I thought maybe that would have made us kind of, all right, we can't just chill, we have to play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it never really clicked like that. We just kind of kept trying to go through first, second gear and just expecting the goals to come. And to be honest, we were getting the chances in first and second gear. They just wouldn't damn score the goal. So I saw Olympiacos growing in confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Because once you keep the game at 1-0, 0-0, they feel like, yo, we're in this thing. We're in it. You know, and second half, it wasn't quite squeaky bum, but it was like, you know, this is not how I should feel today.
Right.
I feel 2-3-0 up.
Right.
Max Bowman running on, one area running on. I don't know if Marley Salmon was on the bench, but if he was, put him on too. You know, and let's just have a decent night out. But it never really got to that stage. And I think we have ourselves to blame for that. One, for the missed chances, because I think we played well enough in the first half to put the game away. And two, in the second half, for not really showing up with the same level that we had in the first half.
Yeah.
And I can't even say intensity, because at times in the first half, I thought the intensity is why they stayed in the game. I don't think we were intense enough. I think even Saliba and Gabriel, there was a play in the first half, I couldn't believe it, where I think his name is Gelson Martins. He had a ball on. Saliba's pointing to Gabriel. Gabriel's pointing to Saliba. And then the guy ends up heading it. And then I saw Arteta look at them and say, hey, who are you guys? And a couple times in the first half, even though we're playing well, Arteta was looking really pissed.
Right.
It was because I saw what he saw. We weren't really at it. We weren't at it. So anytime you do that in the Champions League, I don't care who it is. It could be Olympiacos, it could be the team from Cyprus. If you don't have that level and you don't put your chances away and keep them in the game, every second half is going to look like that. It don't matter who you play. So we need to realize that, yes, we have a great squad. We have probably had a better team for sure yesterday. But if you don't apply yourself, you don't have that intensity, you keep teams in the game. And that's what we did yesterday.
Cooking. No, absolutely. And I thought it was, you know, I thought we was better in the Newcastle game, but I thought the same kind of pattern happened. You know, we had most of the first half. We was really intense. We were all over them. We had chances. We didn't finish the dinner. And then the second half, we kind of regressed. But obviously, you know, I praised the team rather than Arteta, because, you know, when we got to 1-1, he brought on Miles Lewis-Skelly. But then I think it was Dio or someone was in my chat earlier saying it was because Trossard was at the, it might even been you, man.
It was me.
Trossard was at, I mean, did you notice that he would do that in the previous games though? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously that was in isolation. You said Trossard was boiling your head, so I understand that. But
well,
you know, like,
so I think when it was when we were chasing the game, right? I forget which sub it was, but a couple of them I was thinking, damn, another one. So he to me, he went more than I had seen him go in the past, even if we're losing. And like I said, to that point, when we were in a defensive shape, which was less of the time because Newcastle's defending what they have, it was freaking Trossard there at left back, bro. And Elanga was on the right side, bro. So I just didn't like that.
Yeah.
And we got the goal, and I thought when he made the sub to bring on Skelly, remember, you know, Skelly is not no shutdown type of person anyway. So I get your point that he's a defender, but Miles Lewis-Skelly is the one that created a couple of those chances at the end of the game. We're not creating, but he's getting on the end of Odegaard's pass, hit the corner. Or he's dummying a ball that's played inside to the channel because he's in this inside left attacking space. So I don't want the name and the position to skew what actually Skelly did when he came on. He didn't go on there to come and bunker down for the 1-out. He was bombing down the left side to go get a goal.
So do you think it was an attacking change then from Arteta then?
It was a change that made more sense for the game, because the minute we go 1-1, Newcastle no longer is just bunkering anymore. They're going to now look for Elanga to break on that wing. And that's a mismatch, bro. I don't care what you say. Trossard ain't stopping Elanga. It ain't happening. So in the time when we don't have the ball, which could be possible in the last 10 minutes of that game.
No, it's a great spot. It's a great spot.
Let's make sure that we can stop them. You know what I'm saying? And to further that point, Miles Lewis Skelly is not bringing on Calafiori in the 88th minute. It's not bringing on Mosquera to play left back in the 88th minute. When we have the ball, Miles Lewis Skelly is going to be another attacker for us. And so that's why I was okay with it at that moment.
That's a good spot.
I understand at face value, just saying that's negative. He's bringing on a defender. But is Miles Lewis Skelly really a defender?
No, of course he ain't. He's never been a defender. But like I said, but on face value, the same like when we was at Anfield and we haven't won there since 2012. Do you see what I'm saying? And what we're used to seeing from him, you know what I mean? On comes a defender, but it's a great spot and very, very eloquently put there as well. Big up Odell Lowe. I agree, Jason. Some Liverpool fans thought it was over when Klopp left. A coach is replaceable. Not even just that, but we give Arteta credit for getting us to kind of a place where we can challenge. We understand that, but now it's about getting. It's half a decade. Now it's about getting there, bro. And if you're not the guy to do it, stop being selfish. Pass it over to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Pass over get the team across the line, and you'll get your credit for building the team. The same way that Slot got credit because everyone said he won the league last year with Klopp's team, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Listen, we're fair over here. We're not just negative for negative's sake. Big up Tyson. He said, I've never backed this liar, never will. He is a will clamp to success. Hey, some people have had enough, man. I get it. Make sure you're subscribing to my guest, though, guys, and get your questions in if you've got any questions. The Assemble said that man says whatever he has to, just so we can completely go against what he says. Well, like I said, we are seeing some things different. So it's whether he can continue down that line or whether he's going to revert to type. Big up the Assembled, though. Conrad Smith, I think he's come over from Jason, said, big up Jason and the man then. Big up to you. One Barca. Big up to Conrad, man, every time. Joseph Brown, big up to you as well. I said, big up Jason and Viewz. Big up to you, G. Swamptivity, if I've said that right. Bless morning, Gooner. Big up to you. Warren saying, can Crystal Palace continue their hot start? Small sample, but playing well. I think that's a good one to kind of stop on there because that leads us into our next 5 games. We got West Ham in the run. We got Fulham away, I believe. We got Crystal Palace in there. We got Sunderland, who I think is playing quite well. So I suppose the question, and I mentioned it on my earlier show as well, I suppose the question is because everyone seems to think this is going to be some easy run now. And I'm like, well, hold on. These were the teams that we were kind of pegging us back last season and the season before. How do you think we're going to do in this next 5 games, my bro?
Look, for me, these games, when we have dropped points to these, quote unquote, lower ranked teams lately, because, it's all the rage right now, how we win the top 6 trophy every damn year, like it's a damn trophy. But I think for me, it's like what we talked about with Olympiacos is application intensity, right? We have the players, we have the system that can beat these guys. We've seen it, right? Because sometimes we play these teams and it's 5-0. Sometimes how we related, we low-key look at each other.
Watch Mali, we're not. You never know, though. You know what I mean?
United, Brown Man United.
You know what I mean? Sorry to interrupt you there. Sorry, carry on.
You're good, man. No, that's hilarious, though. But yeah, no, I lost my train of thought for a second.
We're talking about the next 5, the next Sunday.
Yeah. So sometimes we beat these teams 5-0. Sometimes we lose to these teams. Sometimes we drop points to these teams. I think it comes down to the application, the intensity. As long as we realize, and Arteta actually, if you look at his history, when we lose to teams the year before, the next year, we typically do the double over them. It's the ones that we do doubles over that we have to worry about. So, that's what I will be looking at going forward. I don't worry about the West Ham game because Arteta will be showing them the West Ham game, that we messed up. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't worry about that one. It's like a Sunderland game, Promoted teams we've been beaten, but this team is looking different as a promoted team, right? Especially in that stadium, right? Burnley away as well, a team that we normally bag up in the Premier League, but you know, under this manager, this regime at home, they're stingy. They don't give up a lot of goals, you know. So those are the games. The Crystal Palace, the Fulham, the West Ham, I worry less about those games just because Fulham has done us in the past under this manager. And like I said, he's typically gonna key in on those things that the narrative is in about. So West Ham, Fulham, these two games, I kind of feel like we're gonna win because recently we lost to them.
Right.
You know, it's the last two of these 5 that I, as a fan, would be kind of like, let's not skip over these last 2 away promoted teams. You know, fans will be saying Gyökeres can get his goal tally up and all this. Those are the games I worry about when like we just kind of put it in the bag already.
Yeah, exactly.
West Ham, I think we're going to be on alert. The Fulham, I think we're going to be on alert. And that third game against Crystal Palace, definitely we're going to be on alert. So I don't really worry about those as much, to be honest.
Okay.
Those last 2 of these 5, though, remember I told you, those are the ones you have to really look at and say, yo, we have to make sure we turn up.
Exactly. And you know, maybe it's just my PTSD, man, because I'm looking at that game, I'm thinking Sunderland, you know, the return of Xhaka, Crystal Palace, Eze coming back home. You know what I mean? Fulham was always like Arsenal 2.0 anyway because of the old guys that played there. So I'm just like, but it's a good point. It's a good point. You know who else told me that Arteta learns was Bailage. Big up Bailage Sports as well, Bailage TV. We done it under the lens the other day, and he's telling me Arteta learns. I don't always look at him like a learner. I'm going to be honest, but it's good to hear. It's good to hear. And let's see.
I think it just depends on what it is, because he didn't really learn last season when Odegaard was off form that we need to bench him. You know, he didn't learn that. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what it is. But when it comes down to like specifically getting bad results against a certain team, if you really check it, he doesn't lose to the same team a lot.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot, and I like that because BBK's like that as well. Because I might think of a few things like stuff that the top gooners are going to say, or the people that are just trying to, you know, just spin stuff to spin it. Because they said after 5 games, you know, oh, relax, it's only 5 games. But then the same people after 1 game we win come back with the whole, you understand? But you, I think, like BBK, there's some things that I don't see sometimes in it, and it's refreshing to hear that. It's refreshing to hear that. Big up to Nitro. Said, bless up Warren Webster. I don't think Palace has the squad depth. Listen, they're doing good, man. They lost Eze, you know what I mean? Elise, they, you know what I mean?
Pino was a good buy. I think he's going to be good for them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I like Mateta as well. Don't sleep on Mateta, man. I like him as a striker, so old school, like flat track bully. Big up Odell says Conrad Smith, Nuno Mendes, have your Mal ticket from the Spain-Portugal final to watch every. Okay, you guys are having your own discussion. Beautiful day north of Toronto, just chilling today. Big up to all you guys. The boss is in the building, man. Like E. Ross, big up to you, my guy. Saying big up community, hit the likes, yeah, man. Subscribe to both people, man. Me and Jason, go and subscribe, go and show love. If you got questions, then please get them in because we're approaching the end of the show, people. So get them in if you got them. There's the new channel. Like I said, Jason's name is in the description and it's pinned. So make sure, my guys, you go and show all the love over there. Nitro update plays so well. Hold on, let me just get to this one. Red Skull, RB Leipzig, Antonio Nusa, Arsenal really should sign him. I ain't really been watching him. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch a lot of Leipzig. Do you know who about this player? You got any?
Yeah, so Red Skull, big up. You know, one of the big man them over the channel. He was alerting me at this player from in the summer. So what I did was made sure to watch some Norway games.
Right.
I don't really keep up with him this year in the Bundesliga, but yeah, he's talented, bro. I mean,
right.
I think right now where Arsenal is, I don't know if Nusa is the guy, because like I was saying, I want to get like a proven, like I want to get a done on that left side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Nusa is somebody that I would look at because he's only 20, and I think like he's going to only go from strike to strike. So yeah, good. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Based on my analysis of the player, he definitely have a high ceiling for sure.
Right. Well, I'm taking your word for it, my guy, because I definitely ain't checked him out. But I'll take a look. What's more important for Arsenal fans this season, winning champs or the EPL? That's a good question, man. What do you reckon, bro? For me, champs.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's been so long for the Prem, but it's been never for the champs. So like, you know, I'm obviously, when you're a football fan, banter comes into your life every single day. And so no matter how well we do, no matter how many games we win, the default of everybody is, well, you can't chat to me because you don't have champs. So until that can be out of my banter of my life, then yeah, I would say Champ's more important, to be honest.
Definitely, and for me, the same reason. Not even just because just I'm tired of the rivalry. I'm tired of everyone saying that. But not only that, you get me. Like yesterday is my dad's birthday. 2 years since he passed, and he was saying to me years ago, "Are we ever gonna win something in Europe before I kick the bucket?" And we didn't. You know what I mean? So now, you know what I mean. We have to do it, man. For me, and I've never seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen the Cup Winners' Cup. I was alive. You know what I mean? It's a long time ago, but I was there. I was young. I didn't get to celebrate. I wasn't an adult. It's different. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're a child, to go and win even the Europa League, to go and win the European Cup now, man. You know what I mean? So for me, yes, we do need a league because I was half my age when we won the Premier League back in 2004. However, definitely I agree with Jason. The champs for me. Big up Why Not? You're saying big up Gavin. So Dappin's going round. One boss. A big up to E Ross. He's over on your channel. Make sure you're liking on both channels as well. Conrad saying, really, you guys have 3 to 4 guys marking him. I think you're talking about your milestone.
Jamal Mendes,
yeah. I'll leave you guys to your little combo there. Big up Gunner for life, man. Big up Why Not?
Big
E
up,
Ross. Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. The same message I think as before. Big up to you guys. I'm just checking for any more questions, man. While I do that though, man, Jason, man, tell us a little bit about your channel, man, what people can, new subscribers, if they come over there, what they can look for.
Yeah, so look, Jason Gooner TV is the name, so obviously Arsenal fan. Follow the whole EPL though, so I do weekly review and preview shows. The preview shows are really fun because we do, score predictions in the chat. I keep a log of everything, reveal the winners at the end of the week. Don't get the worst picks though, because you're going to graze in the grass with the donkeys them. Right, so we reveal the worst pick of the week as well. So it's just a fun way to increase banter, get the community going and flowing. And yeah, man, we built a nice little community over there. Also, you hear me speaking. So obviously, I'm a Jamaican as well. So I do cover all the national teams of Jamaica: reggae boys, reggae girls, youth teams. Keep up with football. It's highly, highly political over there, Views. So I also do some programs just talking about the federation and what's going on behind the scenes. So yeah, that's kind of what you get from my channel for the most part. We have a family, we have a life, we work as well on the side. So I can't really set times for the stuff. So if you sub to people, please make sure to hit the bell notification, set it to all as well, because you never know when Jason Gooner will pop up. But one thing's for sure, each week you'll get a preview and a review show of the whole EPL week, where we discuss everything about the EPL, what's going on, team news. We play FPL as well, guys. So you can check in for the latest updates and that stuff as well. But we just love the football views. Something that, people that know me personally, I've always been the go-to about football. So if you want to know about a player, you want to know, what's your thoughts on this game, what you thought about this, I've always been that guy. So when I started to watch YouTube for content about football, I'm saying to myself, damn, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? I do this every day with my peer group. Let's just make the peer group bigger and turn on the camera and discuss football. You see it? And, it's been one of the best things I could have done because, for one, it's making me take the game a little more serious. So I have started to do some grassroots coaching and also acquire some coaching stuff as well. So I'm getting certified as a coach and an analyst. I think that can only lend itself to creating better content, you know what I mean? And while I know that people that know me personally know I know the game, at the same time, I want to be able to go into these circles and people actually say, this dude clearly is studying what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a standard that I don't hold everybody in YouTube to that standard. I get it. Some of us just really want banter. Some of us want to just cuss, man. I get it. And there's some people out there that's going to want to watch your content. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I think that it's just a progression that I want to do. And it's something that I think has been actually accelerated by me talking about football more. You know what I'm saying? I find myself watching games much differently now than 10 years ago.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked, man. Nah, that's up. That's up. That's what I'm saying, especially because Matty as well, Southern Gooner, he done coaching as well. And I think I don't know if someone on Fam Zone done coaching. I know SB on the catch up. He plays for Dulwich. He actually plays semi-professional football or whatnot. So it's always good to kind of bring that expertise. But yeah, as you said, at the same time, it is YouTube. You know what I mean? It ain't Talk Sport. But like I said, you know, it gives you them different, like you said, different ways to look at it, different angles, and just gives more kind of currency to what you're saying. No, I think that's really good, man. Listen, guys, make sure you get over there and subscribe to Jason, man. Press the bell notification, show him all the love in the world. You know what I mean? Give him a good views. Welcome. Big up Tyson. He said after 7 years and 1 billion, even if he does the treble, thanks and goodbye. Some people are just not there with it, but I get it. I'm not gonna tell anyone how to PTSD.
Yeah, I can't say I'm where who was that? Why not?
Tyson.
Yeah, I can't say I'm where he is. Like if he does shut me up and win the trophy, I'm not gonna say to sack him after that, because like I said, I've seen certain things and aspects of what he does where he actually did learn. You know, so I can't just paint the brush. Once he does 4 or 5 things I don't like, if he does 4 or 5 things I like, I'm not going to discount those things too. You know, now we need to get to a point where he's doing like 9 things I like and only 1 thing I don't like. We haven't gotten there. You know what I'm saying? Right. When he gets there, then I can relax. But you know, hopefully he can get there. You know, because at the end of the day, Arsenal winning is the main goal. I don't give a crap. I'm not gonna say I don't want him to win so that I can constantly be beating him. No, if he wins, then I'll give him praise. Simple.
Facts. Big. And I've always said that myself, because even now, like you're talking about, you know, squad depth, you're talking about minute management, rotation, being competent. It's all the things that we was asking for. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's only right that you start doing it. And if you do start doing it, then how can we complain about it? So no, I'm with you on that one at least. Anyway, big up Odell Low. That's from Nitro. For me, the EPL. Fair plays answering the question. The assembles bigger than Eros. I just want to see if there's anything else we can close on. Liverpool will still be the team to beat. They are the champs. Absolutely, man. Listen, they ain't even clicked yet. What do you think about Liverpool? What do you think about them quickly?
Look, I'm going to be honest, right? So I have a lot of members of my family, extended family, that are Liverpool fans. And so that's the team that, you know, people closest to me talk about the most. So I kind of hear a lot about how Liverpool fans think and everything. And I was telling them even last season when they were getting all those points, winning games, when you really watch their games, you know, bro, they're getting away with a lot of stuff. Not referee-wise or any of those things, but just like giving up chances that the other team ain't finishing, or Alisson coming up with worldies, or you know, just they're winning games, but it's like a heart attack if you're a Liverpool fan watching the game. And I just felt this is not sustainable, and we just didn't challenge last year. If we had challenged last year, bro, I don't know if we win the title, but I'm telling you, it would have come down to the end of that damn season, bro, because there were spells in that season where they looked unbeatable, but there were other spells where they were just getting 3 points, and that's how they kind of started this season. The Bournemouth game, Bournemouth should have won that damn game, bro. I don't care what you're telling me. They should have won, right? The game against us, yeah, they got the win, but was it really convincing? You know, was it? You know, that game to me could have been forgotten. It could have just ended 0-0, and you know, we just never remember that game. You know what I'm saying? That was how that game was. Both teams kind of was canceling each other out, and it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't Newcastle Arsenal. It wasn't like a football match. You know what I'm saying? It was
I know what you mean.
Just tactical, you know, just tactical. It was all tactical, the whole game.
Chess match.
Yeah, chess match, exactly. But for me, Liverpool is there to be got at, because I don't think that the things that we did to ensure that our squad is ready, they did. I think they're very top heavy. So up front, if a guy is off form, they can get over that because they play the other guy. The back line is where I worry about them. You know, I'm not worried about them, but where I think they should worry is when they signed Kirkes and Frimpong, I said to everyone, how is the defense going to work? Because right now, the way they played, they always kind of had one of the wing backs kind of tucking a little bit to give a little more cover to Van Dijk and Konate. Currently, Kirkes ain't a defensive left back. You know what he wants to do. He wants to bomb. So they go out and sign Frimpong as the right back. What does he want to do? Bam, 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 bam. And what was Bournemouth doing to them in the first game? Killing them in the transition.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen to them over and over and over again. If you don't just Conor Bradley to play, which clearly he doesn't really. I mean, he wants Frimpong to work. Hell, he's playing Soboslai there as his first
Soboslai.
You know, and Soboslai looking like the best right back out of all of them.
He's a workhorse, Soboslai. He is. Yeah.
This guy runs like crazy. So I think that they're going to struggle over the long term unless they just get miraculously lucky with injuries. Because the minute they have to move around some pieces back there, I don't think they can do the things that Arsenal can do to cover the injury crisis that we have right now. So that's to me is the hope. It's like over the longevity course of the season, the moves we made in the summer to kind of just bolster everything and give backup everywhere and everything, that's going to make the difference for us.
Wicked.
And another point too.
Yeah, go on.
Slot last year got a whole bunch of praise, which was rightly given. You know, he got the job done. They won the league. One thing people don't realize, though, is this season, Slot actually has some depth in the attacking and midfield areas. We have never seen him navigate a squad and rotate a squad and all these things. Liverpool lost a game the other day, and all I hear Liverpool fans talking about is Slot messed up with his rotation. So can Arne Slot manage a team that is supposed to win, according to a lot of people? Can he play the right pieces? Can he find Gakpo the minutes that he should get? Can he find Ekitike the minutes that he should get? Can he get Isak into form? Can Verts become the player that they thought he's going to become? What's Verts' best position? You know, these are all questions that we don't have answers for if you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
So, you know, look, I think Slot is people are gonna. I think this is the year where he becomes either a great manager or just a guy that inherited a team that was ready to win and he didn't mess it up. Type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. That's a great point. And because I was giving him all the ratings last season, you know, because I just thought he was very competent in what he was doing. And yeah, man, even with the little bit of adversity he had, he kind of navigated it well. It's going to be interesting to see what they do this season. And I feel like if Arteta just does what Slot did last season, just don't mess it up, then you know we could be in for a good season. Big up the assembled, big up Matt Ballman as well, jumping in. Thanks for the sub. He's another content creator just starting, so big up to him. Make sure you're subbing. Make sure you're subbing to Jason as well. Like I said, why not in the building? E Ross, big up to you. Nitro 69, all the people, man. We've had decent numbers today. Sheridan's in here. Jargans in it, or Jargans, I should say, is in here. Big up to you, Conrad Smith. Big up to all you guys, man. Really appreciate it. We're gonna get out of here, man. But Jason, have you got any specific show coming up or anything? You know, people should.
Yeah. So look, what I will say, guys, I haven't made a thumbnail as yet, but just as I said, subscribe, hit the notification. We will be going live tonight. It's gonna be pretty late for you UK folks, so you can watch the replay. And definitely, as long as you get your predictions in the comment section before the games kick off, just send me all 10 games with scores, because the scores matter in my prediction table. You can get involved in the predictions and everything. We're going to go live tonight, I'd say probably about 10 my time. It's about 4 a.m. So if you have a crazy work schedule in the UK, definitely. Some of you guys in the UK watch at them hours, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what they do it. Maybe their work schedule or whatever is going on. But yeah, big ups to all of you that do that. And of course, when you wake up in the morning over there, you can always watch it back. Drop your like, leave a comment, leave your predictions, and we'll go from there. But definitely the next content is going to be that tonight. EPL preview show, sorry, because the kickoff is tomorrow. We have a Friday fixture. So I want to make sure that I get the preview show, in before the games kick off. And the review show will come on Sunday night after all the games have played. So definitely you can look out for those. And the international window is coming up, Viewz. So definitely we'll have big Reggae Boys content coming up. We are 6 points from 6 in the World Cup qualifiers. And, if we beat Curacao away and beat Bermuda at home, and we get some results that go our way in the other games, we can literally qualify for the next World Cup in this window. So look, we got thrown a bone with the group we got. We got Trinidad and Tobago, Curacao, and Bermuda as our group. and we have to top that group to make it straight to the World Cup. So it has never been an easier path for us. And obviously with the US, Canada, and Mexico hosting the World Cup, that helped out a lot. So they're not in the mix for the qualifiers. So yeah, we did our business in the first round to get seeded well, and we got a good group, luck of the draw type of thing. And we took care of the first 2 games. Now, for take care of the next 2, we're pretty much 1 foot in the door for sure. So look out for all that content. If you are into all other football, just follow the channel, bro. I'm a Gooner, I'm a reggae boy, reggae girl, Jamaica fan, but definitely just love football. So if you love football, you'll enjoy my content.
Come on, man. The assembled. Are the fan base divided because of the manager or the club? This is going to be the last question. So let's get your answer, Jason, man. What do you think, bro?
I think the main division right now stems from the manager, honestly, because there are people that think Arsenal fan base needs to be like this harmonious thing, right? But all your fan bases are going to be a reflection of every other facet of society. So you're going to have your haters, your lovers. You're going to have your people that just keep it balanced. You're going to have your people that are indifferent. You're going to have all kind of people. And that's just the nature of fan bases. That's what it is. But I do think that right now, the manager is what divides opinion more than anything else in the club. Anything else in the club. Because even the Crankies, even though one of my wishes was to get an Arab or a big billionaire in, you have to kind of give them some credit for this season, bro. The man them got the checkbook out. They didn't have to spend the money they spent. We didn't do a great job of yes, we sold players and moved players, but we didn't get Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is still our biggest sale, bro. So there's still issues, but they spent the money. They went and got the players. They went and got the players. So many people said after Gyökeres, we ain't getting nobody else. We went and got Eze too. So, it is what it is. But that to me is what divides the opinion more than anything is the manager.
It's the manager.
There's a wide range of thoughts on the manager within the fan base, and I think that's a part of some of the divide right there.
Definitely, man. Well put, my guy. Definitely well spoken as well. Knows his stuff. So make sure you guys go and check Jason Gooner TV. Like I keep saying, show him a Viewz welcome. Get over there. Make sure you like, subscribe. It's free. It don't cost a thing. Yeah, man. I've enjoyed this, man. We'll have to do this again sometime, my bro. Thank you for coming on, of course. Do you know what I'm saying? Always got to big it up. But yeah, guys, we're going to cut out now. We should be back with Aaron Talks Arsenal around 7, quarter past, unless it gets cancelled or whatever. But we will try and keep you updated. So please come and join us for that. Of course, we are going to be back tomorrow with more intervention. So yeah, man, subscribe to Jason as well. Like I said, thank you so much for coming on. Big up to all you guys in the chat. We're going to send you over to Elijah, man. Too much of Spurs fans, so get over there and give him some banter. You know what I mean? Let him know that Viewz and Jason sent you guys, and we'll see you again soon, people, man. Peace. Big up.
Bless up.